Hello everyone! Today I wanted to film an interesting video of the authors that I have read most from. So while perusing on Goodreads a couple weeks ago, I saw on one of your bookshelves you can look at most read authors, and it actually shows you like in order of how many books you've read by a particular author. And I found that to be really interesting. I thought I would share with you guys my most read authors. It shocked me so much as they surprised me, I will say. Like some of the authors on here, I was like, wow, I've read that many of their books. I honestly can't believe that. So I'm going to share with you my top 7 or 8. Let's get on to it. You're really going to see my reading taste, obviously, because these are the authors of books I've read the most from, honestly. And yeah, let's just dive in. Why not? So the first author of books that I've read the most from should be no surprise, because I have read every single one of her books, and she's written quite a few of them. And then it's gonna have to go to Sara Dessen. I have read 13 of Sara Dessen's books. Yes, I know, only hanging up 12. See what happened to goodbye in this stack. But either way, I have read every single one of her books with no regrets, mind you. She is my favorite contemporary author. Okay, I really enjoyed every single one of her books, and yeah, 13 books read by Sara Dessen. That's my #1 read author. Like, yeah. That's a lot of books. My second read author is Cassandra Clare. These are all the books I've read by her. I can't hold them all up. But either way, I have read most of Cassandra Clare books. I have read all of her Mortal Instrument series, which has 6 books in it. I have also read her Infernal Devices trilogy, which obviously has 3 books in it. And I have also read the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. She's written that with 2 other authors. I don't own that yet, but I have read that. And the last 2 books I read by her are her first 2 books in the Dark Artifices series. So that brings our total up to 12. I have read 12 Cassandra Clare books. And like I said, I haven't even read them all. I have yet to read the Bane Chronicles. I know, horrible. And I have yet to read her middle grade series that she's writing with Holly Black. I think that series either has 2 or 3 books out. So she could easily beat Sara Dessen if I have read those other ones. But either way, I've read 12 of her books. Again, no regrets. I love her books. I will say my favorite series of hers so far right now is the Dark Artifice series that is still ongoing. But yeah, 12 Cassandra Clare books read. The next author that I have read the most books from is Sophie Kinsella. I have read 11 Sophie Kinsella books, and I only own 3. How sad is that? Because she is my favorite like chick lit author, hands down, but I only own 3 of her books. That is because the majority of the books I have read by her I have listened to and or borrowed from the library, so I don't own them, sadly. I have read the first 3 books in her Shopaholic series, and I have read every single one of her standalone books because that's her only series, is the Shopaholic series. The only book of hers that I have yet to read is her young adult book called Finding Audrey, which I just bought, so I will be reading that soon. So it'll bring my total up to 12 books read by Sophie Kinsella. If you're looking for a fun chick lit book, pick up Sophie Kinsella. She will not disappoint. I love her books. But the reason why I don't own all of them is because I listen to them on audio, like I said, and I prefer, if you try to read Sophie Kinsella, listen to them on audio. They are much more amazing on audio, trust me. I need to build up my collection with her because, yeah, I've always listened to them on audio. The next author that I have read the most of, and this is where it's going to be a little shocking, is Sara Shepard. I have read 10 Sara Shepard books. I can't believe that, honestly. I'm not saying I don't like any of her books. I just can't believe I have read 10 of her books. Like, I honestly don't remember even reading half of them. But either way, I've read 10 of her books. I read the first 6 books of the Pretty Little Liars series, and I gave up on it. I don't ever have plans to finish it because it's so lengthy and I don't feel like it's worth it. Either way, I read the first 6 books. I also read the first book in her Lion Game series. I don't know, again, how many books that is in that series. I don't plan to finish that one as well. So that brings our total up to 7 books. I also have read her Perfectionist duology, which has 2 books in it, which I did enjoy. And I like the fact that it was a duology. It was 2 books and it was done. I was happy with that. I have read the first book in her newest series, The Amateurs. So I think that one is also going to be a trilogy or a duology. Either way, that's 10 books read by Sara Shepard, and I don't own a single one. I've read all of them from the library. Either way, she's my, like, I've read 10 books of Sara Shepard. I feel like you can fly through her books though, honestly. Like, you can read 10 of them, you'll be like, I read 10. That's how I feel. The next author that I have read the most from is Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm very excited about this. I have read 9 Maggie Stiefvater books. Every single book that she's written I have read, and I am proud to say that. First, I read her Shiver trilogy, which was her first ever trilogy released, and that has 3 books in it. Then she released a kind of sequel companion novel to that trilogy called Sinner, which I have read again. Of course, I have read The Raven Cycle, which has 4 books in it. So that brings our total up to 8, and I also read her only standalone book, The Scorpio Races, and I love this one as well, so that brings our total up to 9. And she does have a new book coming out this fall called All the Crooked Saints, which I plan to read, so it'll bring my total up to 10. Either way, if you have not read Maggie Stiefvater, please do. She is one of my favorite authors of all time. Like, she writes so beautifully. I love, love, love her books. So yeah, I am very, very happy that she is on this list. The next author that I have read the most from, so I have read 8 books by Sarah J. Maas and really enjoyed all of them. So I have read every single one of her books that is currently out right now in her Throne of Glass series. So that is 5 books right there. There is a 6th one coming out in September, which is going to be from Kale's point of view. And we also will have the last book in this series as well. So that's going to be 7 books, honestly, in this series. And I've also read her Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, which again has 3 books. So there you go, 8 books right there. The only book of hers that I have yet to read is The Assassin's Blade. So this number could easily go up to 9. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't read this. There's honestly no good excuse, but either way, I've read 8 Sarah J. Maas books and I've liked them all. And yeah, they're just book crack to me. I'll say that time and time again, but that is exactly how I feel. And the last 2 authors I want to mention, because this video could get insanely long, I have read the equal amount of numbers of books from them, and that number is 7. The first author I want to talk about is Marissa Meyer, and I have read 7 of her books. Like I said, I have read the entirety of her Lunar Chronicles, which has the first 4 books right here are listed, and then she also has 2 kind of companion books that go along within that series. She has Ferris, which is a novella within the series, and then she also has Stars Above, which is kind of a collection of short stories that falls within that series. And I've also read her standalone book, Heartless, which brings our total up to 7. So yeah, I'd say the majority of this Marissa Meyer books falls within the Lunar Chronicles. Either way, I love this series. It is a great one. And the last author I want to talk about today, I have also read 7 books from, and let's think about 7 books. What series has 7 books? Can you think of any series that has 7 books that's very popular and everyone's probably read? I can't think of any. Oh yeah, Harry Potter. Of course, J.K. Rowling comes in. I have read 7 books of Harry Potter. I have read 7 of her books, which makes me think about, what about The Cursed Child? Her name is on that book and I have read it. Does that make my total 8 technically? I don't know, I could read 10 list of that. Yeah, I've read 7. I've read the Harry Potter series in its entirety. I will pull it out, but the box set's over there. It's kind of hard to maneuver out. But yeah, let me know. Does Cursed Child count for that? I feel like it should. I feel like I've read 8 of J.K. Rowling's books. 8 of them, right? Also, would you count these books as well? Like Quidditch Through the Ages and Fantastic Beasts? I'll be honest with you, I haven't read them, but I need to read them because they're just super short, and why not? But yeah, I mean, do they count as J.K. Rowling books? Because it doesn't say by J.K. Rowling. Would you count that as like a book that she's written? I would love to hear your thoughts. Either way, those are my most read authors. In case you want a glimpse into that, there you have it. The authors that I have read the most from. And a lot of these authors did not surprise me at all. I'm very happy with the authors that are on this list. The only one I'm kind of iffy about is Sara Shepard, because I feel like I've read 10 of her books and I don't own a single one. That should just tell you something right there, I guess. Like, I don't think I've rated any one of those over like a 3.5 out of 5. So I'm not saying they're bad books. If you like them, that's great. They're just quick reads and fun reads for me, but that's the only author that kind of shocked me on this list. Please tell me, go on your Goodreads and let me know what authors you have read the most from. I would love to hear what authors you've read the most of, so we can kind of compare and contrast our list, because I just find that so interesting that you can do that and just like look at your list and be like, wow, I really love that author's books because I have read every single one of them. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.